What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about my impressions of MultiVersus so far. So obviously, this is talking about the beta, and I don't want to title this a review or anything nuts like that. I haven't played every character. I feel like a game like this, at least for me, to feel very honest with you guys, I'd want to be able to play as at least every character, at least one time, just to kind of, get a sense of the game. So I'm not there yet. I do want to talk about how I feel about this game, and that's really good. I feel really good about this game. I talked about it on the main channel, and I've done a couple different videos on the main channel, but one of the ones I did was talking about if this game will survive long term. This game is fun now, but will this will this game hold up, and will this game be fun in the future? And I think what you can obviously talk about in the present is the gameplay. I think gameplay in a game like this really is king. Like, obviously you have to support this game long term with more characters, more maps, more modes, and they will, I assume, and they've talked about it, they will do that. So what it comes down to is, does the gameplay hold up, and is this a good brawler kind of game? In my opinion, yes. It's very different, but I've said this before, and I don't know how controversial this is, but, Smash Bros. Will always be like, it literally is the ultimate. Let's literally bring in that name of the game. It is the ultimate game in the genre, okay? It'll always be king. If you like it as your favorite, of this genre of games, that's great. If you don't, that's also great. But I think it's kind of an undisputed king, right, that everybody almost tries to mimic. That's literally what MultiVersus is a Warner Bros., Smash Bros. Clone, okay? I really do think the gameplay holds up. It's very different. I've talked about it before. It's very, close up and personal. Like, the attacks, when you're doing an attack in this game, it's not the same as Smash, where you could press whichever, whatever attack button you want, and I feel like you can hit somebody with the end of the attack. Like, you could be kind of far away from them and still hit them when you get closer. When you do the action, your character does the action, and then you connect, you could be at the very tail end of the attack and you'll still hit them. In MultiVersus, it doesn't do that, like, at all. Every attack is very condensed. So, like, an up attack, a down attack, obviously left, right, all of them, you have to be in the perfectly, as close to perfect, I guess, as what you want to take it, but pretty closely to perfect, in the right spot, right? If you're too high and you're doing like a down attack, whether it's down, in like the heavier attack or down in the light attack, if you do it and you're too far above them, you won't land it. You'll do the move and then you'll stop right above them. So, and I think that honestly is off-putting to some people, which is totally fine. Totally fine. I know this game is not for everybody, and I've seen that in the comments. Some people are like, I'm not into it. I'm not into it, like, at all. I get it. I get it. I like the combat, though. I really, really do. I respect, at least so far, the model. This was the biggest thing I was very worried about with this game. Now, obviously, like, the skins and stuff, that I believe there are certain things that you can only unlock with like, out-of-game currency. But, when it comes to the characters and stuff, again, in my opinion, characters with money, that is the most important. If you are locking characters behind the ultimate grind fest, or the ultimate you have to pay with your own, like, real money, not with in-game money, that really will hurt your game. And I get it's free to play, so that's also why I'm not gonna I'm not gonna, like, labor on it too much with all this stuff for the skins. I mean, you do have to make money some way. Now, that doesn't mean you have to scam and overcharge, which you could argue that. You could absolutely argue that, right? But in my opinion, it's like, well, at the very least, we've seen games rip people off. We've seen games that would hide characters behind, like, you'd have to grind a lot to get a character, or the in-game currency, like the model of how that's run, is not good, so it's going to take you forever to earn the amount of coins. It does take a while, but, like, if you play the game, you're honestly fine. To be honest with you, one trick that I'm using, my daughter likes this game, and she's played it an okay amount, and you can play the mode where you play online with another person. You can face bots, and those will give you coins if you play, if you win the match, if you obviously are accomplishing your daily challenges and tasks while you're doing it. That counts. So, she gets to have fun because she's playing it, but she doesn't have to go up against, level 15 opponents that are going to destroy her, and they would destroy me as well, right? So she can have fun, and you're earning money. So I really think the earning money, it is a little bit slow, but you earn it in so many different ways, right? You obviously do it when you level up certain parts of like the battle pass. You level it up when maybe if a character levels up, sometimes you get it. Obviously playing matches, winning matches, doing daily things. It's not that bad in my opinion to get characters. I'm total. If this was the way it is in the future, I'm totally okay with that. And as long as they, because again, games have done this where it starts good and then maybe when the game fully launches, then they make a change. I mean, Activision has done that before, even like a Crash Team Racing. Everything was fine and dandy. And then like a week, 2-3 weeks after the game launched, they literally changed like how the marketplace, I think they completely nuked how many coins you get per match. So that is something definitely to keep an eye on, right? If you start to earn drastically less coins over time because they did something, internally, that would be a major problem. And again, I think these are all very important aspects of the game because at the end of the day, I like the roster. I don't think all the characters are obviously not built even. Some characters have different classes, right? There's different classes in this game, and I think they're just for different kinds of people. Like I really feel like I'm pretty okay as Wonder Woman and Superman, which I think are more of like the tank, like the heavy class. And then I wanted to buy Harley. I thought I remembered liking her in the like like alpha test, whatever the first test they did. I'm pretty sure I played as Harley and I liked her, and I really am not a huge fan of Harley as she plays because it's not my style, right? So in terms of like the visual approach for these characters, I think they're awesome. In terms of kind of the range they have in the roster, I think it's good. Obviously, it needs to be added to, but again, like it's going to. So, and even if this is the thing right now, right, for the next month or so, I think this is a great cast. It's solid. It's got a wide variety of different play types. Some characters you're gonna like, some characters you may not like. Even though I want to play as Harley, I love her voice, I love her look, I like her moves, but it's just I'm not really into the style. Like, it's not how I play the game. She's a little bit more floaty. She's a little bit quicker than say like a Wonder Woman or Superman. It just doesn't work for me, but that's fine because it does work for other people. So when it comes to the actual base game, I think it's rock solid, and that is, in my opinion, the most important thing for this game, because then everything else is okay. Well, the currency, how is that? The skins, the costumes. I think there's some incredible looking varieties that you can change these people into. I don't really care, and that's always been maybe a controversial thing with me. I don't care when it comes to changing skins. I've talked about it before for like Marvel Spider-Man or like a Batman Arkham. Marvel Spider-Man is the first game that I actually cared to put on different outfits for the character. It's the first game that's ever made me care. For Batman, for any game that like has alternate skins, I always keep the original, like whatever you start the game looking like, that's the one I keep throughout the entire game. So while they're cool, they're definitely cool. And maybe they upset people, maybe they don't upset people when it comes to like how you get them, money and all that kind of stuff. To me, it doesn't matter. It truly, because I don't really care if I have the base looking Harley Quinn for the rest of my life. Whatever, I mean, that, like, as long as the game's fun, as long as I'm having fun, as long as again, they keep adding things, which is going to be the most important thing. You got to keep adding characters, you got to keep adding maps, and maybe obviously different modes as well. I think the modes here are pretty fine. I mean, it's a generic set list of things. What else are you gonna start it off with? But as time goes on, obviously I'd like to see them add to that as well. So let me know what you guys have thought so far on this. I mean, we're only 1 week into the open beta. It goes on for a while, so we can keep playing, or I'll keep playing, and we'll keep talking about it, and we'll see what comes next for the game. So make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.